is Anne Marie. I'm the Executive Director at the UN Office for Partnerships in New York.
Hi, my name is Grace Dorong. I'm from South Sudan. I'm working with the Root of Generations. We're here to have heart-to-heart conversation at COP.
And I get to have the first question, Grace.
Go ahead.
Are you ready?
I'm excited.
You're ready, okay.
Yes.
What was your climate spark? What got you into this movement?
My childhood experience. What made me, what changed my name from being Grace Dorong to being a refugee is what brought me to COP.
Tell me a little bit more, because that's like a whole journey, it sounds like.
Yes, I was displaced. There was this flooding that washed away everything from our home. So we got displaced to Kakuma refugee settlement. So I grew up there as refugees, as unaccompanied minor. And that's where all this inspiration came from.
So you were displaced in where? Tell us where you were growing up.
Okay, I was born in South Sudan, one area called Eastern Equatoria, and then the other region of Jonglei and Bor is being displaced, people are being displaced by flooding. So when they got displaced, these people poured into our region, and that conflict or competition over these resources like water points displaced the whole town, like the whole country. People went to Kakuma refugee settlement.
Okay, and then you said something, unaccompanied minor.
Yes.
What does that mean for someone who might not know?
It means that I wasn't with my parents. So when the conflict and this displacement took place, children ran into different directions. We understand that at home, mothers go to the farm, fathers go to other direction, and children are left at home. So that running away, like disappearing like that, I got myself in the camp.
So I can imagine now that that really did give you the spark to become
Yes.
an activist.
Yes, thinking about my home and that urge of dreaming how my home was became like a spear burning inside me to try to fight on the climate issues.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Your
Can I
turn.
ask you? Oh, my
All right,
turn.
I'm ready.
What COP outcomes would be the really meaning to you in your office?
So already it was really meaningful to have loss and damage operationalized. I think that was, it's going to be make a huge difference in people's lives. We need more funding in it, but it was a really good first start. Now what would be even more meaningful to me is if we can get phase out of fossil fuels into the outcome document, because I feel we really do need that just transition to renewable energies. I know it's going to be a tough one, but I know it's also the right pathway for the world.
Oh, great. Now you make me ask another question.
Okay.
Loss and damage is what I love the most when we're talking about displacement and climate crisis. So you got me thinking, when you're talking about loss and damage, many talk that were taking place at COP, people are talking about properties, people are talking about the buildings, the stuff, but I didn't get the part that talked about a human being, that loss and damage in a human being. How is your office prepared to handle that part?
I think I heard something that really struck me at this COP, which was we can't choose between people and planet. We have to bring everyone with us, and we have to keep our planet healthy so that we can remain healthy on the planet. For my office, we're really thinking about partnerships and how do we bring people together, because we can't do this by ourselves.
Yes.
And so we need those scientists talking with the policymakers, talking with government, talking with the private sector, and most of all, we need activists in civil society to advocate, to keep us on the right side of history, and then to keep us accountable. Any one of those sectors can't do it by themselves. We need everyone working together to do this. So that's my hope, and that's what gives me a little bit of hope that we can do it. Someone said they were anxious the other day, and I think that's that urgency, that anxiousness gives us. I hope that makes us continue to make the right decision every time we need to make a decision.
Very great. I'm inspired. I think we can move on to the next question.
Okay, you ready now?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. This is for you. When you think about the future, how do you feel and why?
I feel scared, afraid, but energize.
Energize.
Yes, because I take the ownership that I can make a difference. Each and everyone here has a role to play. So scared, afraid, but energized to fight for the future.
I love that you said ownership, because if everyone just says they aren't part of the problem or don't want to be part of the solution, then people don't feel part of that ownership part of the responsibility that we are, because just being here means we have a responsibility to be good stewards, to do the right thing. And I think, again, going back to it, every decision point that comes to us, I think it's a good opportunity to make the right decision.
Thank you. Great. So going into the next question, what is your piece of advice for me?
Oh my gosh, I actually think you should be the one giving me advice. You have an incredible lived experience, and I hope that you continue to share your story and your journey and show people what it means to feel the way you feel and why you do what you do, and that this whole story, because a lot of us take inspiration from your story and take energy from your story, and I think we really just want to support your story and what you want to do and continue to do.
Thank you. Do you have a question for me?
I just want to wish you the most awesome COP ever, and maybe one word you're feeling right now.
One word I'm feeling right now is that I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling that the 2,500 trees that I've planted, I'm going to add more to them, and not just doing as myself, but bringing the people together, the community, and we can move the world.
And I'm going to add the word grateful to have met Grace, because you have just made my entire week, and I am excited for you, and I wish you all the very, very best.
I'm so excited too, and lucky to be here with you. Thank you.
Heart, 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 heart. You have to give me a hug.
Thank you.
Oh, that was
Really
amazing.
amazing. Thank
You're
you.
so cool.
Hey guys.